Hello and welcome to Stoneblock 4. It's my current series going on. If you haven't seen the other episodes, check out the playlist on my channel. Hopefully you do enjoy, and if you do and you check me out, or you keep coming back and you're not yet, feel free to subscribe, leave the video a like, and maybe even leave a comment of things you want me to play next. Enjoy the video. Okay, I've made some changes since last time. Again, I'm always trying to upgrade everything to be as useful as possible. I ran into a small issue with our ME controller, so I had to move some stuff around. We now have 100 channels, which is a lot more than we had before. We used to have 66, and that was because some of our channels weren't actually connecting. So I've replaced most of the cables with these dense smart cables, which can carry up to 128. But our issue was that nothing was actually connected right to the ME controller. Each of these blocks, these applied energistics blocks, can only have 8 channels going through it. So the issue was that everything was being fed into an ME drive and then into the controller, and that didn't work. And so the controller has now been connected to directly by a dense smart cable, which means 128 channels can enter it. Other stuff can still be connected, like our energy acceptor can have connections into it and all that. But we are allowed to now have 128 channels leading into our ME controller. The other thing is that I have way increased our production of molten chaos. We're getting roughly 18 to 20 millibuckets a second. And that is because I only had let's see. So we have the fluid laser pointed at the chicken. And that's fine, but it was taking damage. And so I researched it a little bit, and it will only generate 1 millibucket every time it takes damage. But the laser will only hit it if it has 8 or more hit points, because the laser takes 7 hit points from it. Which is slightly annoying, but you know, it's whatever. So I now have it, let's see if we can I can actually just show you. If the room preview will load, that would be best. Doesn't look like it. Okay, we'll jump in. This is now the setup. I did take this design from someone on Reddit. There are 9 stasis chambers with max upgrades. All being constantly powered by this tesseract. And this is healing it beyond what damage it is taking. It has 36 upgrades. Or not upgrades, laser bases. Let me lower this. But it's not quite so loud. It's still very, very loud. We'll mute it entirely. So this, we have 9 stasis chambers and 36 laser drills. Oop, and I missed. That's about right. I do not want to end up inside there, because if I end up in there, I will not be able to get out. So yeah, we have the same fluid laser base with 36 of these laser drills. Each one has a tier 2 efficiency add-on, a tier 2 processing add-on, and a tier 2 speed add-on. All 36 of them. And the laser itself has 4 of the efficiency add-ons in it. So it is hitting it as often as it possibly can, because it can only handle 36 of these. I think I might be able to put a range add-on in this and maybe put more, but this is more than enough. So it is attacking as fast as it can, producing as much as it can, and you can see that the Ender Chicken is taking no damage because of how much healing it's getting from the stasis chambers. And this Tesseract is on a new network called Stasis Chamber. And that is because whenever I use my Draconic Infusion, it takes all of the power out of my base, which means that, once again, the Wither is gone, because all of the energy got taken out of it, and it was freed. And then when it got caught again, it was dying to suffocation. So I had to end the Wither again. But down here, I have 2 nitro reactors running the stasis chamber. I have 2 stasis chambers running my base. Or not stasis chambers, nitro reactors running my base, along with the biogenerator from Mekanism, and the 5 biogenerators from Oritech. We still have 1 nitro reactor running the world engine. I'm probably going to level that up to 2 or 3, but I have switched from using the Tesseract in my base to using Flux. So, the Flux is running my base and my world engine. So upstairs I've changed everything to be Flux. Right in here, down at the bottom, we have the reactor. Or not the reactor, the world engine. I have 2 gargantuan flux storage. Each one of these holds 128 million. So we have 256 million FE stored in the system for my base and my world engine. And my base has wireless charging, so I don't need to worry about carrying that battery anymore. It keeps my wireless crafting terminal charged and my helmet charged at all times. And if I get anything else that requires charge later on, it will also keep those charged. I have finally set up auto-crafting, so I've removed a bunch of stuff from in here. Let's cover this first. So, I wanted to get ahead in quests, but not so far ahead that I was actually completing quests. So I did build the particle accelerator, but I did not actually do the craft necessary. I want to do that with you guys watching. And I have not made the neutron collector, but I have auto-processed it, so it is ready to be auto-crafted. It's just not crafted yet. And I did see that the neutron activator requires some things. Most of this, not a problem at all. The neutron activator requires HDPE sheets. Now that is where the trouble came in. I didn't have HDPE sheets. So I made this. This generates HDPE. Hydrolytic separator turns it into oxygen and hydrogen. It gets put in here, water and hydrogen. In here is oxygen and liquid ethene. You put biomass in this one. We have a lot of. Biomass in this gets turned into substrate and ethene, gaseous ethene. Then the rotary condensator turns the gaseous ethene into liquid ethene, which then pumps right back into this one. This one turns substrate into HDPE, goes in here, turns into HDPE pellets. Well, turns the pellets into the sheets, and then the sheets go into the ender chest, which goes right into our system. So we should have HDPE. Yeah, we have 32 HDPE sheets. And that's the entire process. It's fairly simple, not quite as complicated as I have made it before, which is good. And the hydro pump feeds water to both devices that need it. Not too complicated. I did spend some time. I used 5 stacks of lapis. We're down to just 45 in here. And I added so many enchantments to this. I also made the sea shelf of aquatic filtration and put the 4 cursed books in there. And I put looting 7 and scavenger 3 on my sword. Over here is the rest of the auto crafting that I set up. We have mechanism auto-crafting, and we have... so these are the infusing factories creating steel, infused alloy and basic control circuits, the reinforced alloy and the refined obsidian dust, and the atomic alloys, and then this is creating all of the dusts that we could possibly need. And then we have Oritech automation. These are making carbon platings, the tier 5 add-ons. I'm now making the copper reinforced plating over here instead of in my crafting unit. So same with the motor. Flux gates are now on auto process. The plutonium pellet that we need is on autocraft. These ion thrusters that we needed for the particle accelerator are on autocraft. Same with superconductors, and the magnetic coils are now being made over here. And these last two, this last one is empty. I don't need anything in it yet, but it is here just in case I do need it. I have the two foundries on autocraft. So these foundries are building me duratium and biosteel. But I can also put in autocraft a lot more because the foundries work as a smelter for more than that. We also have the two centrifuges on autocraft. Pretty much nothing goes in these. This one is producing raw biopolymer and unholy intelligence, and this one is producing enderic compound and carbon fiber strands. But that is the basics of autocrafting right here. We will probably need more, but that is what we have for now. These autocrafts are still up and running. I haven't needed to take them down yet. I'm going to see if I need to put this on autocraft, but if I don't, I'm not going to. But if I do need to, it's not too complicated. We can throw it over with the mechanism ones. Here has been changed as well to flux right there. You will see that my Draconic Evolution injection crafter is currently offline. That is because I was going to try and make the Chaotic Chicken, but that requires Chaotic Tier, and the Chaotic Tier requires this Void upgrade right here. Which is something we're not quite ready to get into. But that is something we will be working towards today, hopefully. The biggest issue is time. So the neutron collector takes almost 6 minutes per neutron pile. And they want me to craft an ingot. So that's 81 neutron piles. So 6 times 81, which is not going to be super easy, but if this craft itself is easy, the neutron collector, because it just needs, like, strange matter, and I have everything else. None of the rest of this is too complicated to make. I'm making these in the assembler. Then I can just set up, like, 100 of them and just collect so much of the neutron, and then I aim for a neutronium block so that I can make the neutronium chicken and never have to worry about it again. I do need to make the void container and dark matter block first, which is the end of this quest line. But instead of time, our biggest thing is antimatter, because antimatter takes so long. We need a bucket of antimatter for one antimatter pellet. And for the black hole, we need one antimatter pellet and a small chaos fragment. The antimatter pellet is going to take us the longest to do. So we'll get to setting that up probably here on stream. But the first thing I want to show you is that I did set up a particle accelerator. It's all the way over here just in case something happens, so that it doesn't blow something up in my actual base. I did take this setup from Chosen Architect on YouTube. He knows what he's talking about. I have played with this mod before and could not get it to work, so I had to look up how to make it work. And the entire crux about making this work is the Accelerator magnetic field. In other packs, you would need concentric rings that slowly get larger and larger and larger until you have a ring large enough to actually do your craft. But because of this magnetic field, you can actually do all of your crafts here in this area right here. So, let's do it. I need uranium dust, which I do have on Autocraft and made 32 of, and I need fluxite. Okay. We are going to put uranium dust in the dropper. This will read when it is at that 2500, greater than 2500. And then it will put it in here so that it'll actually enter the craft. And in this one, we're going to put fluxite. This is incredibly loud. I have lowered the volume, but we'll see how loud it gets. If it gets insanely loud, I might mute it entirely. That created one, and it sent it right into our ender chest. So it would be... oh, what are we making? Plutonium? Yes. Plutonium dust. And then we need to turn this plutonium dust in an assembler into plutonium pellets. So we'll throw this back in the system, make us plutonium pellets. It does take a second. Our crafters are not the fastest. Plutonium pellets need to be broken down into small plutonium pellets, and that completes that craft and that quest. Now we need to work on the neutronium. I'm going to let this run, because it should run itself until it's out of items, and we'll get a bunch of that plutonium. It's not chunk loaded, so I can't go super far away. I didn't want that draining power while I'm not in my base, but it should... I should claim its chunks, so that mobs won't blow that up if they happen to spawn. Let me grab all of this stuff from the loot bee. Loot bees are still good even at this point, because they give me some items that might not be super common, but at the same time are achievable. It doesn't give me anything that I can't make myself anymore. Ectoplasm is not quick. I can make it, but it's not necessarily easy. I'm making it over here. There is a chance to get ectoplasm from specter saplings. And as you can see, I've grown quite a few specter saplings, and I've only gotten 24 ectoplasm. This one is enchanted with Fortune 7. This one is unenchanted. We might have to go and do a bunch of chance cubes. How many chance cubes do we have? 24. Apparently I have an enchanted book in here. That should go in this library. There. Okay. So, that is the beginning of this quest. We can start looking to get the neutron collector. I think I have the neutron collector itself on Autocraft. I do. Am I missing anything? Nope. We'll just let that work in the background. In the meantime, we can complete this quest. So we already have all the draconium blocks and the energy core stabilizers. And between episodes, I made all the blocks of the awakened draconium. Up here, I did make our awakened draconium chicken. I made it level 13. It creates 7 ingots every single time it does it. That is basically a block. And in preparation of making the chaos chicken, I made a second one, because I need to actually turn this one into the chaos chicken. So I have him going with an extra 1 every cycle. So that's how we got enough. We're actually, I believe, producing more. Yeah, we have produced more awakened draconium than we have regular draconium because my regular draconium chicken is not leveled up. So, that's all of these. That completes this quest and gives us a gift of stone, ring of greater discount, 10 max mana and 1 mana regen, and reduces the cost of all spells by 20. I don't need that. So now we have to go back and talk to Chaos. Let me go do that. I actually have to do it from my Chronon battery. I can't do it from my action pad. I don't know why. It's supposed to be able to do it from my action pad, but I cannot. We'll put that back on. We'll run over here and talk to Chaos. Let me through. Okay. I have done that. He now has the Gate Pearl of Endless Gateway of Apothic Invaders. I don't think I need that, so I'm just gonna leave it. I can go inside. Radiance, I haven't done anything for, but... I don't know what these would be used for. The efficient speed add-on I understand. And we haven't needed to talk to Infinity before, so we'll do that, I believe, once we do this Void upgrade. Then it'll do it. Okay. Let's head home. Okay. Now we need to hold all this stuff and submit it so that we can do the upgrade required. Okay, 378 of those, 786 of those, 32 of those. Okay. Assemble. Oh yeah. It's big. That is technically energy storage that I could be using, but I just think it looks cool. Our world engine is looking cooler and cooler by the day. Nice. What temperature is our world engine at? 812 degrees Celsius. It's generating nothing, but because it can only... This is a storage of energy, not a generator. They keep giving us those. There's so many energy storage and not really any energy generations for the world engine, and our world engine itself can only store 250. 250,000 FE, which is why I finally switched to Flux, because this is now just actively doing this, but it's also actively draining 1,000 for this. So let's drop this to 900. Because I don't quite need 800 Celsius. I'm assuming that we're going to need to, make the infinity singularity for infinity. That we can almost make this, because once we get the void matter upgrade, we can do this. Yeah. Oh yeah, that'll be easy. I'm saying this now, and it's probably gonna suck, but, like, that doesn't seem overly complicated. But anyway, that's that quest line done. So now, we can see if the neutronium is made. It is. Neutron collector. I think it needs power. No, it just processes. Okay. Let me see if I can make a second one. I could. How many of these could I make? Could I make another 10? I'm missing strange matter and need plutonium pellets. Let me tell the system how to make plutonium pellets. because then it can make it itself. I can also tell the system how to make strange matter. Strange matter is this craft here. And then I can make a tank for liquid sulfuric acid, for Sheol fire, and for strange matter. Because I think I have all of those. Let me get a bucket. Really, I need 3 buckets. And then let me get fluid drawers. And some upgrades. We'll do gold. I don't need 3 million buckets of any of these. Okay, we'll put these down. Put the upgrades in them. Okay, and then we'll go in here and look up fluid. Or not. Strange matter. Bucket of that. I need the Sheol fire, which I don't have a lot of. Let me get a tank then. Basic fluid tank. Sheol fire. And the acid. I know I have at least a bucket of that. Yeah, I've got 20 buckets. Okay. This. This. And this. And then we will lock these. And then I realized that I had been an idiot, and I've been putting like external storage things on these, when all I really have to do is put them down in here. That is it. Just go boop, boop, boop. And then we just link them. So, link to this one. All 3 of those are now on the system. No need to worry about it. And then I just need a pattern. I need an extended pattern provider. Technically, I just need a regular one, but the extended one doesn't cost very many more resources. I'm actually going to need, I think, 3 import buses. And then 12 acceleration cards, I think. And then Fluix cables, because I need the dense smart cables, and 1 regular glass cable. 3 regular glass cables. At least. Okay. So over here, we have the foundry. Or refinery, I mean. This is the refinery block. We're going to put this down, tell it to make that this is how it makes it. And then we just need to hook it up to the system through these dense smart cables. We are going to go around like this. That right there should work. We'll do that, just in case. because I don't want it to pass through this block. I want it to be connected directly to the line without creating a loop. And then, on these, we're going to put the import bus. That one, and that one. This one needs cards. This one needs cards. This one needs cards. Cable, 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 and cable. Okay. So now, this should know that if it exports a enderic compound and 1 bucket of lava, it should get Sheol fire, liquid sulfuric acid, and strange matter. And I believe that's the highest production of strange matter. Yeah, it's the only production of strange matter. So, let's tell it to make a bucket of sulfuric acid. 1 bucket. It'll go in here with the lava and the enderic compound. It goes in. Okay, the sulfuric acid came through. Because I think that one went in here. Yeah, these ones did not. Let's see. Does it need to be over a block on the actual glass part? Yes. Okay. So it just needs to be on the actual glass, not the machine section. Okay, now all 3 are being imported. So we have a production of sulfuric acid, Sheol fire, and strange matter. I don't remember what the Sheol fire is used for. We needed it for this craft. It can be used in the lava generator, and it's used to refine ores. So it's not super important, but you might as well store it, just in case. You never know. So yeah, let me just make a bunch of these neutron activators. Give me 20. The system knows how to make strange matter. What is it? Oh, because it's a byproduct, it won't let it automate? Maybe. Hold on. .2 buckets is divided by 5. And then it'll also make sulfuric acid. Is it this sulfuric acid? No. This sulfuric acid, liquid sulfuric acid. Now the primary output is strange matter, because I need that more. Does it still say 0.2? It does. Sometimes when I mess with the, like, point numbers on this, it just doesn't work. Okay. There's that. Now can I make 20 neutron collectors? See, like, what the hell? Okay, that's fine. It's all the same. It's all the same. Make me 20 neutron collectors. Is any of this going to be an issue? It's going to screw up with the flux cores. I just know it. It's fine. I have to keep jumping back and forth between the world engine and my base because it just doesn't... The world engine can't comprehend the ability to just put stuff in it. Kind of annoying. Now that we have some ectoplasm, I can create the autocraft for lockpicks. That's the entire reason I have ectoplasm. This craft here. Lockpicks. It requires specter ingots, which we will actually have it do this craft of specter ingots. Because it's less wasted. Ectoplasm. No, we'll have it do the other one so that it can actually autocraft. A little bit of a waste of material, but it's easier. Okay. This craft here. And all the way down at the bottom, this craft here. Okay. So, what I want is a drawer. This one has a copper upgrade in it. We're going to get rid of the copper upgrade and grab some other upgrades. We'll do diamond. I don't want to waste blocks of netherite. Okay. We will run this downstairs. Because these don't need power, it means that I can just knock out this wall here. And just put them right here. So I have 20, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15, and then I can do another 5. We'll put this one right here, not that way. This way. Thank you. And then we'll grab some opaque item pipes. Run them under like this. Neutron activator, which will have the ability to feed out. And then after 6 minutes, this will produce one pile. It'll go into this drawer. Actually, what I should do is not this drawer. We'll remove a step in crafting by making compacting drawers. Okay. This compacting drawer instead, it can only hold 3 diamond upgrades. So what we'll do is, once one of these comes through, it'll go in the 0 slot, and then when 9 of those come in, it'll automatically make a nugget, and then when 9 nuggets are in, it'll automatically make an ingot, and all of those will be available to my system, so that my system doesn't have to know the autocraft for it. Good. That'll be good. So, that's this beginning. So now for the antimatter, we will need the antimatter. Not the antimatter, the... what is it called? Reactor. We will need a reactor. We will need to make fissile fuel. We will need a chemical dissolution chamber, a chemical infuser, and an isotopic centrifuge. Sulfur, fluoride, and uranium with some water produce products. It seems complicated, but unlike in real life, it is easier than it seems. Okay. I'm pretty sure I have infinite sulfur and infinite fluorite. Yeah. Because I have a sulfur chicken and a fluorite chicken. So... we will just build it in this empty space right here. I am looking for fissile fuel. Okay. I need an isotopic centrifuge to make the fissile fuel, and I need uranium hexafluoride. Uranium hexafluoride is made in a chemical infuser with uranium oxide and hydrofluoric acid. Uranium oxide is a chemical oxidizer for yellow cake uranium. Yellow cake uranium is an enrichment chamber. Okay. Hydrofluoronic acid is sulfuric acid and fluorite gem. Okay, chemical dissolution chamber, have one of those. Sulfuric acid is a chemical infuser of water and sulfur. Water vapor comes from a decondensation of water, so I need a rotary condensator. I forgot to tag sulfuric acid. And the sulfur trioxide is sulfur dioxide and oxygen. Oxygen we get from a electrolytic separator. Sulfur trioxide. Sulfur dioxide, a chemical oxidizer with sulfur. So I need 2 chemical oxidizers. I think. So, an oxidizer for sulfur dioxide and for uranium oxide. Okay, we are going to make autocrafts for these. I guess I'll tell it how to make a personal barrel. I think I already have the autocraft for the electrolytic separator. I should have it for the rotary condensator. I'll grab it just in case. I have one for the enrichment chamber. Okay. Centrifuge, I've got lead. Chemical infuser. Chemical dissolution chamber. I need the autocraft for this. Refined obsidian. Let me just make some. Refined obsidian, give me like 200. We'll wait for that to craft. While that's all crafting in, let's put all these crafts actually in my auto crafting system. I have to do it one at a time because it won't let me shift click in. Which is frustrating, but not impossible. Okay, this is set up for ingots. I will just give it a bunch of refined obsidian, and it'll make those ingots for us. Okay. So. I need 1 chemical dissolution chamber, I think. One isotopic centrifuge. 2 chemical infusers. Uranium hexafluoride. I need 1 chemical dissolution chamber for the hydrofluoronic acid. Two chemical infusers, an isotopic centrifuge, a chemical dissolution chamber, an enrichment chamber, a rotary condensator. I think just the one rotary condensator. Yeah. Okay. So, I need 1 isotopic centrifuge. I need 2 chemical infusers. Apparently I have 4 rotary condensators already. I know what that's from. I tried to set up an autocraft yesterday when I was making the HDPE sheet setup, and it wouldn't autocraft, so I have to keep canceling and putting it back together, and then canceling and putting it back together. And so I have multiple rotary condensators already. I need 1. Chemical infusers. I need 1 electrolytic separator. I need 1 enrichment chamber. I need 2 chemical oxidizers. I need 2 chemical infusers. And I need 1 chemical dissolution chamber. I think that's it. I don't think I need the pressurized reaction chamber at all in this. Okay. It also wants me to wear a hazmat suit and a radioactive waste barrel. Strong sources of radiation can linger in the world for several real live hours. If irradiated, the only option available is to stop receiving radiation through distance protection or both. Through distance, protection, or both, and then let the radiation slowly fade. This material cannot be destroyed through any other method. Polonium and plutonium do not decay in barrels, but can be stored. Comparators can read how full a waste barrel is. A full hazmat suit or equivalent upgrades are needed to protect you from radiation. These, however, do not cure radiation effects and cannot be equipped to creatures, so be mindful where radioactive material are managed. Use logistics that transfer but don't hold the chemicals, such as applied energistics or pipes. The #1 cause of nuclear accidents among players is mistakenly broken piping that holds hazardous material. A dire situation. Okay, so let's set this up, and then I can grab the required pipes. The last step is the isotopic centrifuge. I want it right here. Into the isotopic centrifuge needs to be uranium hexafluoride, which is a chemical infuser. Okay. It's got 2 inputs, red and orange. We're gonna make this red and this orange, I think. Hold on, what's its directions? Yeah, so hydrofluoronic acid is in a chemical dissolution chamber. With sulfuric acid. Sulfuric acid is another chemical infuser. One side being water vapor and one side being sulfur trioxide. The water vapor is the electrolytic separator, and that can be right here. We're actually going to put it right here. And the sulfur trioxide, which is a third chemical infuser, so I'm missing a chemical infuser. I always end up missing one thing, that's why I just put it on auto-craft, because I was like, if I craft this manually, I'm going to forget something, and it's not going to go over well. Okay, so this is going to go right here. I'm going to have it face this way. So that I can pipe in from the sides. Okay. Sulfur trioxide is the sulfur dioxide and the oxygen. This is where the electrolytic separator is. I have this in the wrong spot. This guy right here. This one is the rotary condensator. And it should be set to decondensating. Sulfur dioxide is a chemical oxidizer. That's fine. Output is to the right. That's fine, we can change it. Okay. That should be this entire branch over here. So, the uranium oxide is the other half, which is this guy. Be right here. Okay. This setup right here is what we need. I need to feed this stuff. This chemical oxidizer needs to be fed sulfur for the sulfur trioxide. No, sulfur dioxide. So this one will make sulfur dioxide. This will make sulfur trioxide. This will make sulfuric acid. This will make sulfur hexafluoride or whatever, and then this will make uranium. This will make fissile fuel. Okay. This one needs the enrichment chamber going into it. So this chemical oxidizer will be turning the yellow cake uranium into uranium oxide. Yellow cake uranium is in the enrichment chamber. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Give me 100 speed and energy upgrades. And we'll boost all these. And then I need this one to be fed something, this one to be fed something, this one to be fed, this one to be fed. And then this one. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 export buses. 10. Okay, we'll do speed first, I guess. Each of these can actually hold up to 32, but that is a lot, and my system can't keep up with that. So we're just doing as many as I have. Looks like we'll be doing 11. Okay, I do have 5 left. I'm like, I don't want to put 22 in one of these accidentally. Okay. There's all of that. We also need to wire these up. And I need somewhere for this to store fissile fuel. I think I can use a dynamic tank. Because the dynamic tank can store chemicals. Chemicals and gases. So I need a dynamic valve. So I want a big old dynamic tank. It doesn't really need to be that big, but... I'm gonna make it like a bunker underground, or like storage for gasoline under gas stations. I'm gonna put it under the ground. Or at least I'm gonna try. My base is already kind of not underground. Okay. You know what? We're gonna put it right here. I'm gonna dig into this wall. We'll make it flat so that my other hammer can actually work. There we go. And now we tank it up. We're gonna make a really, really big dynamic tank. So the dynamic tank, you just need to make a big old cube that's empty on the inside. And it needs 2 valves. One for putting stuff in, one for pulling stuff out. Alrighty. I might have made this too big. I guess we'll see. Let me grab my netherite stick. Make this easier. I do want the valves on the front here. One there, one there. forget that the sticks don't work on mechanism. You can't building wand mechanism blocks. The stupidest thing. Okay. Almost there. We'll see how many more dynamic tank walls I need. Ah. I am not a very good builder, so this tank is not going to be pretty. I just need 6 more dynamic tank walls. It's gonna make me 8 though. Yeah. Dynamic tank, woo! It has a capacity of 4.8. Well, holy, 4.8 million buckets. I think that'll do us. That'll do us good. Okay. Fissile fuel is a chemical. So we will need pressurized pipes. We will also need mechanical pipes. And then we will need logistical transporters, in theory. But first I need those exporters that I requested. It was this one, this one, this one, and this one. This one needs uranium. Uranium ingots to be exported. This one needs water. This one also needs it exported. Do I need 5? Oh, I need 5 export. Whoops. I either miscounted or mistyped. This one needs water. This one needs sulfur. And this one needs fluorite. You know, it is exactly the same speed to do a block of fluorite, but I don't want to have to deal with crafting cards and everything, so just a singular gem will be fine. Okay, so top is input for items and or fluids, yeah. This side, output for chemicals. Yes. Okay. Yes, the right input is the water vapor. Yes. Okay. Sulfur trioxide will come from here. Output should be front. Yes. Input should be right, left. Yes. This one is transporting a chemical. Left should be out. That's its back. There we go. Left should be output. For items, top should be input. Yes. Okay. For this one, chemicals. It's blue is hydrogen, so that's what this pipe should be. Yes. And this one will just be set to dumping. So, because we don't need the oxygen, we just need the hydrogen. I think. No, we just need the oxygen, we don't need the hydrogen. Yeah, other way around. Dump that. Idle that one. I know what I'm doing. Top should be a fluid input. Yes. Okay. This will feed into this one, so its front should be an output. Yes. This one should receive an item on top and input a chemical on the side. And then output to the front. This one should be a logistical transporter. I don't think there's fluid anywhere in here except the water that goes into these. Everything else should be a gas. This should output to the front. Yep. And this should input from the front. Its side will be its output. And this will run all the way over this little tank. Okay. This is here. Should be a chemical output. This should be a chemical input. Yes. Okay. On the right. Yep. And then this right here will actually need to be an opaque item pipe. It should be set to input items. And this should be set to export items. This one I can also make a factory. Make a basic tier factory. So it will do 3 at once. Okay. Now that that is all in place, I need ultimate cables. Make more of these. And we are going to just circle around and put power into all of these. One pipe short. Of course I am. Actually, there's probably somewhere I can take it from and still be effective. Right here. That's Boom. Everything should be powered once I put a flux plug on it. Or flux point on it. Let's see. Everyone's powered up. Looks like it's all powered. Fantastic. Let's get some cable. This is more than 8, so we are going to want the smart cables and the dense cables. Okay, and then dense cable. I don't need it to go up, thank you. And then this should all kick into gear very, very slowly. We're making fissile fuel. We are. Fantastic! Fissile fuel! We did it! Now to just get some acceleration cards. We have 5, so 20. Okay, 4 cards in that one. 4 cards in that one. Not enough energy to run at maximum speed. Are all of them having that issue? No. Okay, that's going, that's going. Oh, this one needs speed add-ons. Now it's definitely going. It is this that's the holdup. Let me add another speed upgrade. Another speed upgrade. Another speed upgrade. This one is running too fast. Alright, now it's okay. Let's add another speed upgrade. Is it just the throughput that's the issue? I don't know. But we now have fissile fuel being generated. We currently have 400 buckets of fissile fuel. So there's that. Don't need all of this flagged anymore. Let's go ahead and make the hazmat gear just for the quest. It would be really funny if I can make this stuff apothic. I can! That would be hilarious. I'm running around in a hazmat suit murdering things. hazmat suit can go up here. Waste barrel. Next. Radioactive waste barrel. Okay, that completes this quest. Gives us a dosimeter and Geiger counter. Well, I think I can have the Geiger counter on me. No. Apparently not. I thought wrong. Displays the user's current radiation dose. Displays the ambient radiation level. Okay. Once I get a mecha suit, those might be useful, but for now they're not extremely useful, so we'll just leave it. Next would be the reactor. They take fissile fuel and coolant and convert them into nuclear waste and hot coolant. Fission reactors do not generate power by themselves. They can produce steam that can be pumped into a turbine. The reactor accepts two forms of coolant, which can be piped directly into the multi-block via a port. Water cooling is simpler but less effective, while sodium cooling is stronger but requires an additional multi-block. Failing to provide coolant will not stop a running reactor, but will cause it to overheat, taking internal damage and eventually exploding, releasing radioactive materials. Failing to empty the waste will cause it to also leak out into the environment and accumulate as radiation. The smaller the build, the slower and fewer things can go wrong. Take your time and test it out. The smallest functioning fission reactor is a 3x4x3 multi-block, which can scale up to 18x18x18. The edges of all reactors must be reactor casings, but the faces can also include reactor glass, logic adapters, and/or ports. The reactor multi-block will form once the cuboid is fully built and at least one fission fuel assembly is inside, with a control rod assembly on top. At least 4 fission reactor ports are needed to supply a fission reactor. 1 for inputting water, 1 for fuel, 1 to set up as output for steam, and 1 to set an output as waste. Reactor ports can be toggled by right-clicking them with a configurator. Reactors can also accept fission reactor logic adapters for reading different information about its multi-block or for turning it on and off automatically. Reactors can burn fuel to a max rate of 1 millibucket times the number of fuel assemblies per tick, down to 0.01 millibuckets a tick. This rate also adjusts coolant demand and the production of steam and nuclear waste. Check the recipes and make sure your pipes can handle all these rates as well as your coolant production. Okay, my biggest issue is I never provide these things enough coolant. So, I want to look at the difference between a mechanical pipe. Mechanical pipes is a pump rate of 32 buckets per tick. What is a pipe's this upgrade? Advanced pipe upgrade. Is that in this? Logistics and automation. Pipes. How fast is a ultimate pipe upgrade? Let me Google that. Okay. Oh. There's another goat in my face. Okay, pipes mod. That can filter. I will just have to test it for myself. Because the internet's not really telling me. So if I want fluid pipes, transfer water with, I will go to the world engine, so it might take it a second. I think I requested too many, probably. Let's see. World engine. Okay, so it's just taking a second. That's okay. A lot of these crafts, it'll put them in the output slot as well as the input slot, so I have to go back over to the world engine and check it. Empowered Restonia crystal. Let me make one of those manually, because that's not on AutoCraft. Okay. Ultimate pipe upgrade and a fluid pipe. If I put this on a tank and set it to extract, it should tell me its flow rates. 50 millibuckets a tick. The ultimate pipe upgrade is 10 buckets a tick. And how much was the mechanical pipe? 32 per tick. Yes. So the ultimate mechanical pipe is better than the fluid pipes with an ultimate upgrade. Unless I can go above ultimate. I don't think I can, but might as well check. No. Ultimate is the highest. So the mechanical pipe is the best option at the moment. Unless there's a different fluid pipe. Connects to pipes. Okay. Yeah, I think that mechanical pipes are going to be the best option. But we do need to make all the materials for this. We need fuel rod assemblies, control rod assemblies, reactor glass. I don't think I want the reactor glass. I think I'm just going to build it out of reactor casings and ports. Okay. Ports. Casings. Rod assemblies. And rod assemblies. Vision and control. Okay. Then we can put these in the crafting grid. Alright, let's, we'll take a little break here for just a second, and I'll be right back. Now that all that stuff is set up, I do need a better way to get water, I think. So I have infinite water in my ME system. I don't know where that loot respawned. It's down here. In my tunnel? Why is it in my tunnel? I haven't used these tunnels in a hot minute. Okay. Got all its drops. The way that I think that I want to do it... Oh, I don't have to run downstairs to check this? That would have been nice to realize earlier. I've been running up and down the levels just trying to figure out what's going on with my crafting status. The way that I think I want to do it is I want probably 3 crafting or 3 fluid drawers with netherite upgrades. And then each one's gonna have 2 exports on it. Acceleration cards. I do not want to screw up another reactor. Now then, the way that we're going to do this is the reactor is going to be over here. I'm not going to make it insanely big, but I want a decent sized reactor so that the antimatter doesn't take forever to do. This does mean that the dynamic tank is in the wrong spot. I think I'm digging in the wrong spot. No, there's the dynamic tank. Okay, we're gonna break this block. Nope. This block. Apparently I hit right on the corner and I, like, thought I had missed. Okay, dynamic tank, valve. We'll go on this side so that we can draw the fissile fuel out of it and feed it into a reactor that's over here. So, we're gonna make... Let's do a 5 by 5 by 5. So if it's 5 tall, that means the inside is 3, so I need rods. Or fuel. Yeah, so I need 9 by 9, so... or 3 by 3. I need 18. Fission fuel assemblies. 9 control assemblies. And then I need quartz. I do need 4 of them. Okay. Now the question is mekanism steam a chemical or is it a fluid? Okay, it's treated as a fluid. So that's what we need for transport. we're gonna go underneath this like this, and run alongside this other path we've already made. And then I have the 4 ports. I need, what is it called? The reactor casings. We're gonna need a decent amount. And then I think we need about 70. We'll do 80. I think we need slightly less than 80. We don't quite need 80, but better safe than sorry. And if I need more, I can craft more. If I need less, it'll just sit in my system. So we want a 5x5. And then we need somewhere for this all to go. So we could make a mechanism turbine. Maybe we will make a... I'll look into making a turbine. For now, we'll just trash all of the output. And then, do you need to look into... What is it that we need? So we need polonium. Yeah, polonium is what we need to make the antimatter. So I need the nuclear waste to go into this machine, the neutron activator. Which, speaking of, we were supposed to have set this up, because I forgot. Look at that, 20 neutron collectors. Let's quickly go fix this. I don't think it's working. I don't think the opaque item pipe is working. Unless it needs to pull out of the front, which I can do that too. Let's try that before we jump to it. Just doesn't work. It might not work, I'm not saying it will. But I would rather automate this than have to come over here every once in a while and just... Let me set it to full. Pull, pull, pull. I need to get myself some flight. It's not even that hard to get. I'm just lazy. This is the oldest one. I think they're all... Okay, they're all at the same point. We'll set these to extract. And one last one. This guy right here. This one will set to extract from all sides, except the one side. And now that can run in the background. Because I think we need its parts in order to make the neutron activator. Maybe. Or not. Crazy. Okay. That works, I guess. I just need to make some bronze. That's tin and copper. Cool. We'll get to it. We already have carbon plating blocks, whisper glass I don't need to automate, and I don't need to automate the rest of it. So, scroll on down and put this in there. So, I don't need these anymore. We'll leave that one in there because I do actually plan on using that one again. I do not plan on making either of these again, though. Okay. So, make a reactor heat vent. Reactor on reflector. Whisper glass. Carbon plating block. We need 24 of them. Okay. Four of those. And then we just need an empowered block. So I need flint, coal, dye, and stone. Flint, coal, dye, and stone. Although it's anything that is hashtag stone, Ivy will do. And then I just need a block of coal. Okay, block of coal on that. This on that. Coal, flint, dye, and kivy. We'll give that a second to run. And then I just need some bronze, so tin and copper. And we'll go 2. Copper is 6. Okay, get rid of the ingot, grab the plate cast, grab all the refined obsidian. Okay. That'll make bronze. I think that's the last part. I mean, we'll let the system finish it off. Yep. 8 bronze plates. This drained my system, I guess. My system is empty. Is it because of this? Yeah. So I need to up my power again. Apparently this can't keep up. That's why I'm thinking of doing the turbine, is because the turbine would be a production of power. Okay, this setup works now. Great. Fantastic. If I had set it up originally, it would have been done by now, but I did not. Let's set up the neutron activator. Go, I guess. Like, it's not tied behind neutronium, actually. But it blocks out my ability to make polonium. It can be used to make tritium and polonium, but that requires a neutron pile and a temperature of greater than 420 degrees. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, now that this is all done, we're going to uninstall all of the upgrades out of all of these. Because we have enough of a buffer that we don't need this much, and it's draining a lot of my energy. So, let's do that. Installed this one. I forgot to take them with me, apparently. This is the last one. Okay. So this is now very much slower, but it shouldn't eat quite as much of my energy anymore. will be nice and give it 2 upgrades. Because this final step is the most important one. The rest of them can sit and suffer. Okay, I should now be making energy instead of losing it. Yes. Okay, great. Let's build this thing. Okay. We're gonna knock down this wall. And the neutron activator is gonna be right here. It needs temperature, but I don't think it needs energy. Okay. So behind it is all of this. Where does the void block go? Right on top. Okay. So that and the void block. Then the reactor heat vent. And then the reactor neutron reflector. And then all of the carbon plating. And then whisper glass. Oh. Forgot to put it down back there. And that is the end of today's episode. If you did enjoy, please scroll down and hit the like and subscribe buttons, and hit the bell notification to get notified every time I upload here on this YouTube channel. If you do want to see this happening live, it is all recorded on my Twitch when I stream. My Twitch is twitch.tv/Veromnium. Come hang out sometime. You can even follow me there to get notified whenever I'm streaming. I stream Sundays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That is it for today. I really hope you all enjoy. Goodbye.